awareness is not control. Its care. Parental oversight often gets mistaken as invasion. But being aware of what's happening in a child's digital world is part of responsible, active love, not a restriction of freedom. You think you're doing the right thing by giving them space. You tell yourself, I don't want to be asterisk, that asterisk parent. The one who constantly hovers, checks their child's phone, reads every message. You respect their privacy. You want to trust them, but here's the thing. Awareness is not control, it's care, it's love in action, and by the time you realize that, sometimes, it's already too late. That's the hardest part to admit. And I know it hurts. I know because I've heard the stories, and I've felt the silence that falls in between the warning signs we ignored. Your child's phone isn't just a device, it's a doorway, a digital portal into their thoughts, their fears, their insecurities, their choices. Every swipe, every message, every post-it's shaping them. It's influencing how they feel about themselves, what they believe about the world, and what they think is asterisk normal asterisk. And we, yes, asterisk, we asterisk. We assume that if we trust them, if we raise them right, if we've had a few important talks, they'll always be safe. But we forget that the world they walk into on that screen is bigger, faster, and more dangerous than anything we faced when we were their age. So we cannot afford to stand back and just hope they're doing okay. I want to speak directly to the parent who's scared to look. I get it. You're afraid of what you might find. You're afraid of being the bad guy, the overbearing mom or dad, the one who doesn't get it. But let me ask you something. What's worse? A moment of awkward tension because you chose to step in, or a lifetime of regret because you didn't. If your gut says something feels off, you asterisk have asterisk to listen to it. That inner voice, it's not paranoia. It's wisdom, it's protection. It's the fierce love you carry that says, I'll risk the discomfort to make sure you're okay. I'm not telling you to break their trust, I'm asking you to build it differently. You don't need to attack or accuse, you need to approach. You need to open the door and say, I love you enough to be present. I love you enough to ask hard questions. I love you enough to check in even when it's uncomfortable. That's not control. That's courage, that's love in its rawest, realest form. Some people say, but if I raise them right, they won't do anything wrong. Oh, my friend, you can raise a child with all the right values, and still, the world can whisper louder than your voice. It's not about failing as a parent, it's about staying awake as one. It's about showing up over and over, even when they pull away. Especially when they pull away, that's when they need you most, and if you're reading this thinking, it's too late. I missed my chance. No. It is never too late to reconnect. Never too late to say, I didn't know how to show up before, but I'm here now. And never too late to learn, to listen, to lean in. Your love doesn't expire just because time passed. And your child, even if they won't say it, wants to know that someone cares enough to look a little deeper. So check the phone, ask the questions, start the conversation, be brave enough to break the silence. Because love that only stays silent isn't love at all. It's fear wearing a disguise. You are not powerless. You are their protector, their teacher, their safe place. And you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. Let me know when you're ready to expand Key Point 2F or want a full speech draft F. The digital world is their real-world children. Don't separate online and offline. What they see, read, and share online directly impacts their mental health, self, worth, and decisions. You might think your child is just on their phone, scrolling, swiping, tapping away, but what you don't always realize is they are not escaping the real world. That asterisk is asterisk, their real world. The digital space isn't separate anymore. It's not some side place they go for entertainment. It's where they form their identity. It's where they feel seen, or invisible. It's where they're told whether they're enough. And if we as parents keep pretending that the online world is just harmless screen time, we are stepping away from the very battleground where our children are learning who they are. Let me be blunt, the things they see, read, and absorb online. They asterisk stay asterisk. A single TikTok video can tell them they're too fat. One DM from a stranger can tell them they're not worth protecting. One post from a friend group they weren't invited to can whisper, "You don't belong." These are not casual moments. They are silent emotional punches that build up day after day, while we look on and say, "At least they're not out getting into trouble." Oh, but they might be. It just doesn't look like trouble yet. Because online trouble doesn't always wear a dark hoodie and sneak out at night. Sometimes it's the smiling influencer promoting toxic body standards. Sometimes it's the anonymous comments that say, "Kill yourself," and your child doesn't tell anyone. Sometimes it's the friend who pressures them into sending a photo just once. It doesn't need to happen in the streets when it's happening in the palms of their hands. So let's stop saying, "It's just social media." Let's stop brushing it off like it's background noise. It's not. It's shaping their beliefs. It's forming the very foundation of how they feel about themselves, others, and the world around them. Do you realize your child is watching hours of unfiltered content before you've even had your morning coffee? Do you understand they are being educated? Yes, educated, by YouTube, Instagram, and Snapchat before they ever get to class. They're not just scrolling. They're absorbing, internalizing, repeating. That's why it matters that you're involved. Not to ban it, not to throw their phone away and tell them the internet is evil, but to join their world, to understand it, to talk about it, ask them what they're watching, ask them who they follow. Sit down with them and say, "Show me what's on your feed. Teach me what's trending right now." Because if they can teach you what's happening online, they'll trust you to be part of the conversation. And when they trust you in that space, they will come to you when something feels wrong. This isn't about fear. This is about education, about realizing that parenting in the digital age means we have to evolve. We have to learn new languages. Yes, emojis count. We have to understand apps we've never used. We have to stop saying, "That's not real life," and start realizing it is. It's the realest thing to them. So the question isn't whether we approve of it. The question is are we presenting it? Don't wait for a crisis. Don't wait until they've spiraled. Don't wait until a text message shatters your heart and makes you say, "I wish I had known." Know now. Be there now, not just in the physical space, but in the digital one. Be the person who doesn't just feed them dinner, but also feeds their mind with discernment. Help them build the tools to question what they see, to pause before reacting, to remember that their worth isn't measured by likes, followers, or filters. Let me know when you'd like to expand Key Point 3F or want the full motivational speech F next. Silence is not safety just because a child seems fine. It doesn't mean they are. Silence can be a camouflage for pain, shame, or confusion. Connection breaks the silence. Just because your child isn't crying doesn't mean they're not hurting. Just because they come home, eat dinner, smile at your jokes, and go to bed doesn't mean everything is fine. Silence is not safety. I want you to hear that with your whole heart. The absence of visible pain is not the absence of real pain. Kids today are masters of hiding what they're feeling because they've been taught. By the world, by peers, by culture. That showing pain makes you weak, makes you dramatic, makes you difficult. So they bury it. They press it down behind the screen, behind a password, behind a fake smile, and we, well, meaning as we are, breathe a sigh of relief because there's no obvious sign of distress. But beneath that silence, a storm might be brewing. You think you'd know if something was wrong, but I'm telling you, some of the strongest kids are struggling the hardest, the overachievers, the quiet ones, the polite, obedient ones. Sometimes they're the ones fighting battles you know nothing about because they don't want to disappoint you. They don't want to worry you, or maybe they think you wouldn't understand, and that breaks me, because I've seen it too many times. The parent who says, "But she seemed so happy." The mom who says, "I had no idea he was being bullied." The dad who says, "I never thought my child would feel alone." You have to get close enough to hear what they're not saying. That's the key. That's the hard part. You've got to be the person who doesn't wait for them to come to you. You go to them. You create the space. You say, "Hey, I've noticed you've been quiet lately. I'm not going to assume anything, but I'm here. You don't have to carry anything alone." And you keep saying it. Not once, not with pressure, but with love, with consistency, with presence. We assume that if something serious was happening, our child would tell us. But kids don't operate that way anymore. They're bombarded with messages like, keep it to yourself, no one gets it, you'll be judged. Or worse, you'll get in trouble. So instead of asking for help, they go silent. They isolate, and they smile through the pain. That smile might be the very mask they wear to survive another day. You have to become the kind of parent who doesn't just celebrate the good moments but leans in during the quiet ones. The parent who can read between the lines, who hears the I'm fine, and knows it might mean I'm falling apart. And that doesn't come from being psychic. It comes from being asterisk there. Asterisk from putting your phone down, turning off the TV, and sitting in the stillness with them. It comes from asking questions that don't demand answers but open hearts. Questions like, what's been heavy for you lately? Or is there anything you wish someone would ask you? I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying this to wake you up, because this generation is crying out, and sometimes they do it with silence. And if you're not listening, if you're not tuned in, if you're not pushing past the surface, level smiles, you'll miss the chance to help them before the pain gets too deep. So don't wait for signs of breakdown. Build the kind of relationship where breakdowns aren't hidden in the first place, where your child knows they can come to you not just when they succeed, but when they feel like they're drowning. Show them that silence doesn't have to be the only option. Show them that home is the one place where masks can fall, where words are safe, where love listens without judgment. Let me know when you're ready to expand key point 4F or get the full speech written F. Every click has a consequence, from risky chats to harmful content. Every click and message shapes a young mind. We must teach our children digital mindfulness just like we teach manners. Every click has a consequence. You need to understand this with absolute clarity, asterisk every single click. Asterisk every video they watch, every link they tap, every chat they open. It leaves a mark on their mind, on their heart, on the story they're writing about themselves. And the most dangerous part, sometimes it doesn't look dangerous at all. It looks like a funny video, a meme, a casual conversation. But behind those pixels can be pressure, can be poison, can be a whisper that says, asterisk, you're not enough unless you do this. Asterisk, let's stop pretending the online world is neutral. It's not. It has an agenda. It speaks to your child 10, 50, 100 times a day, and every message either lifts them up or tears them down. There is no harmless content anymore when they're still figuring out who they are. You've got to stop asking, is it bad, and start asking, what is this teaching my child to believe about themselves? Because that's where the danger hides. Not in the obvious, but in the subtle, in the repetition, in the normalization of things that should never, ever be normal. It teaches them how to view their bodies. It tells them how to treat relationships. It tells them how fast they're supposed to respond to a text, or whether being ghosted means they're worthless. And don't even get me started on the way social media handles sex, love, or identity. It's a tornado of confusion, unrealistic standards, and instant gratification. And we're expecting teenagers to navigate it with no map and no emotional compass. That's not fair to them, and it's not safe either. You want to protect them, teach them digital mindfulness, teach them to pause before clicking, teach them to asterisk ask themselves asterisk, why am I watching this? How does this make me feel? Is this true? Is this healthy for me? That is the new discipline. That is the new moral foundation in a digital age. You don't just teach them manners at the dinner table. You teach them manners with their thumbs. You teach them boundaries with their swipes. And parents, listen to me. Asterisk, you cannot teach what you do not model. Asterisk, if you're on your phone all day, reacting without thinking, watching garbage, scrolling endlessly, don't be surprised when they do the same. If they see you glorifying chaos or drama or fake perfection, they will mirror that. They always do. So this isn't just about what they click, it's about what asterisk you asterisk click. They are watching you, even when you think they aren't. They're learning from your choices, your habits, your tone, your attitude, so make it count. I'm not asking you to ban the internet. I'm asking you to become asterisk louder asterisk than it, more real, more intentional. You want them to think twice before sending a risky photo. Then asterisk talk about asterisk why self. Worth doesn't live in someone else's validation. You want them to stop comparing themselves to someone else's perfect life online. Then asterisk show them asterisk what real life looks like, with all its mess, beauty, and grace. Do not wait for the moment when you discover something on their phone that makes your stomach drop and your heart stop. Do not wait until you're sitting in shock, whispering, "How did this happen?" Be the reason it never has to. Have the uncomfortable conversations. Ask about what's trending. Watch what they watch, not to judge, but to asterisk, understand asterisk. To guide, to open the dialogue that saves them from 1,000 quiet destructions, because 1 click can be curiosity, 2 clicks can be confusion, 10 clicks can be a new identity crisis, a spiral, an addiction, a secret. Or those same clicks can be stopped by awareness, by wisdom, by the voice of a parent who showed up early, stayed present, and made courage louder than shame. Let me know when you're ready to expand Key Point 5F or build out the full motivational speech F. Trust is built through transparency. It's not about spying. It's about opening conversations. Trust grows not by avoidance, but by creating safe, non-judgmental spaces for dialogue. Trust doesn't come from standing back and hoping for the best. It doesn't grow in silence or distance. It doesn't bloom from giving your child complete independence and calling it respect. Trust is built through transparency, real, honest, sometimes messy, asterisk, uncomfortable, asterisk transparency. The kind where both sides show up with open hearts and open hands and say, "I want to understand you, not control you." And that kind of connection, that kind of trust, it doesn't just happen. It's created brick by brick, moment by moment, conversation by conversation. Too many parents are afraid of breaking trust by checking in. But the truth is, the trust you think you're preserving by staying silent might not even be real. It might just be avoidance wearing a mask. It might be fear dressed up as freedom. Your child doesn't just need you to trust them. They need to asterisk trust that you care enough to ask. Asterisk that you love them enough to show up even when it's awkward. That you'll sit with them when they're silent. That you'll listen without overreacting. That your first response won't be punishment, but curiosity, compassion, and care. You want to build trust. Start by creating safety. Not just physical safety, but emotional safety. Be the person they can come to without bracing for judgment. Let your face stay calm when they share something hard. Let your voice soften when they admit a mistake. Stop thinking that discipline always means consequences. Sometimes, discipline means being present and guiding without shame. Let your home be the place where truth is met with love, not fear. And when it comes to their phone, don't just snatch it. Don't sneak through it like a detective behind their back. Don't wait until things go wrong and then explode. Instead, build a system, a rhythm, a way of life in your family where talking about technology is asterisk normal asterisk. Ask questions like, what are you seeing online lately? Who do you follow that inspires you? Have you ever seen something that made you uncomfortable? These aren't interrogations, they're invitations. They say, I care, I'm interested, I want to know you. And guess what? If you do that enough, they asterisk will asterisk start talking. Maybe not all at once, maybe not everything at first. But if you keep showing up without judgment, they'll see that transparency isn't scary, it's safe. That vulnerability isn't weakness, it's strength. And they'll learn to open up because you asterisk taught asterisk them that openness doesn't lead to punishment. It leads to protection. But I need you to hear this too. Trust also means you don't have to pretend to have all the answers. You don't need to be perfect. In fact, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say, I messed up. I should have asked sooner. I should have been more involved. I'm learning too. That honesty. That humility, it's asterisk powerful. Asterisk because when they see you own your mistakes, it gives them permission to own theirs. It makes truth a two-way street, not a one-way interrogation. So yes, check the phone, but do it with purpose, with love, with explanation. Tell them why. Tell them it's not because you don't trust them. It's because you asterisk love them enough to be involved. Asterisk make it a shared responsibility. Invite them to ask questions too. Say things like, if you ever don't feel safe online, tell me, even if you're scared. Let them know they don't have to hide. Let them know they don't have to pretend. Let them know they are not alone. Trust is not something you protect by staying quiet. It's something you asterisk build asterisk by being present. It's something you grow by showing up consistently, especially when it's hard, especially when the world is loud and confusing and full of lies. Be the voice of truth. Be the safe place. Be the example of what it means to love with eyes wide open. Let me know when you're ready to expand key point 6F or complete the final full speech F. Healing comes through courage, not blame when mistakes are made by parents or children. Healing begins when we choose courage over guilt, education over shame, and presence over punishment. You will make mistakes, you will miss signs, you will look back on moments and wish you had acted sooner, said something differently, paid closer attention, and that's okay. Because healing doesn't come from being a perfect parent. It comes from being a asterisk present asterisk one, even after the damage is done. Hear me when I say this. You do not need to carry guilt like a punishment. You need to carry it like a lesson. You need to turn it into courage. You need to let it fuel you, not freeze you. That is how we begin to heal. Not through blame, not through beating ourselves up, but by standing up and saying, no more hiding. I am here now, and I am not backing down. There are parents who have said, I should have checked sooner, and they cry behind closed doors because they feel like they failed. But failure isn't final if you asterisk show up differently asterisk today. What happened already happened. But what happens asterisk next asterisk is in your hands. The worst thing you can do is let guilt silence you. Let fear of making things worse keep you from making things right. You cannot go back and rewrite the past, but you can absolutely stand in the present and say, we're going to write a new chapter together. You don't fix things by pretending they didn't happen. You fix them by naming what went wrong with honesty and humility, and then showing up again. And again, you say, I was scared. I thought I was giving you space. I didn't know how deep this was. But I see you now, and I'm not looking away again. That's healing. That's the kind of courage your child needs to see. They don't need you to be perfect. They need you to be asterisk real. Asterisk maybe they're angry with you. Maybe they're hurt because you didn't catch it sooner. Let them feel it. Let them say it. Don't get defensive. Get present. Say, I hear you. You're right to feel that way, and I'm going to keep showing up until you believe that I mean it. That kind of commitment breaks walls. That kind of unconditional love, it rebuilds bridges. Because listen, your child isn't looking for a superhero. They're looking for someone who will asterisk stay. Asterisk someone who won't run when things get messy. Someone who will sit in the silence, the pain, the tears, and say, I'm not going anywhere. That's what heals. That's what changes the story. Not shame, not punishment. Presence, consistency, unshakable love. And if they've made mistakes, if they've done things that shock you, that scare you, that disappoint you, don't lead with fury. Lead with curiosity. Ask what pain pushed them to that choice. Ask what they were searching for when they crossed that line. Because I promise you, behind every poor decision is a need that wasn't being met. Behind every risky message is a child hoping to feel seen, to feel loved, to feel like they matter. So meet that need, be that love, be that voice that says, you are not defined by what you've done, you're not broken, you're still mine, and we can walk through this together. Healing starts when courage shows up in place of control. It starts when you stop hiding your fears and start speaking your love louder. When you say, no more shame, no more pretending, just truth and grace and the commitment to do better, starting now. That's not weakness. That's not failure. That's parenting at its strongest. That's what saves lives. That's what transforms homes. Let me know if you want the full motivational speech F stitched together or need a video script form at